Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Movie Snips. Today we're going to be discussing World War Terminus, as mentioned in Philip K. Dick's novel, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, but conveniently left out in the Blade Runner films. So for those of you who aren't already familiar with the setting of the original Blade Runner movie, the film is set in a post-apocalyptic dystopian Los Angeles of 2019, in which synthetic humans known as replicants are bioengineered by the powerful Tyrell Corporation to work in off-world space colonies. So when a fugitive group of advanced replicants led by Roy Batty, played by Rutger Hauer, escapes back to Earth, burnt-out cop Rick Deckard, played by Harrison Ford, reluctantly agrees to hunt them down. So I want to elaborate on World War Terminus, since we only hear about this cataclysmic event in the novel Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. And Blade Runner is set in a fictional universe in which the Earth has largely been rendered inhospitable / uninhabitable in many regards, largely due to World War Terminus. So World War Terminus is mentioned in the novel, but it's not really touched upon in the movies. And the Blade Runner video game of 1997 does mention a third Terran war, presumably World War III. So as a result of this ecological collapse and the large-scale die-off of terrestrial and marine life on Earth, humanity is forced to look to the stars for interstellar colonization. So about 2 decades before the events of Dick's novel, humanity launched a terrible world war with itself, during which much of the planet was destroyed, presumably by some kind of nuclear holocaust. So World War Terminus, a bloody, destructive, but ultimately mysterious conflict. Nobody remembers why it started, and its cause isn't revealed to us in the novel. And it symbolizes humans' inexplicable tendency to destroy themselves and their environment for the sake of selfish desires. So it is implied that the war began very suddenly and nuclear bombs were used by the various participants of the war. The United States was likely a major participant in the war, as were the former Soviet Union and China. So both humans and replicants were combatants in the war, and the war ended with no clear victor, and as a consequence of the irradiated soil and atmosphere, the sustenance of life on Earth became a significant challenge for what was left of humanity. So most land-based plant and animal life became extinct as a consequence of the war, and marine life probably didn't fare much better. The human genome had also become corrupted as a result of the nuclear fallout in the atmosphere. This caused the United Nations to encourage mass immigrations to off-world colonies to preserve humanity's genetic integrity. So it is unclear as to whether countries still existed in the traditional sense after World War Terminus. It is hinted that the major population centers of the pre-war era converged into kind of self-governing city-states, in which mega corporations like the Tyrell Corporation and the Wallace Corporation had much more real power than the respective municipal authorities. So several chapters in the novel make brief mention of World War Terminus, and I'm going to read an example for you. In chapter 2, for example, this event is described somewhat figuratively, and I quote, In addition, no one today remembered why the war had come about or who, if anyone, had won. The dust which had contaminated most of the planet's surface had originated in no country, and no one, even the wartime enemy, had planned on it. First, strangely, the owls had died. At the time, it had seemed almost funny, the fat, fluffy white birds lying here and there in yards and on streets, coming out no earlier than twilight, as they had, while alive, the owls escaped notice. Medieval plagues had manifested themselves in a similar way, in the form of many dead rats. This plague, however, had descended from above. So I'd like to thank you for watching and listening to my video today. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and please check out my channel for more lore videos.